Hello students, I am Prabjot Kaur Khatkar, Assistant Professor from School of Health Sciences. So my topic for discussion is Introduction to Biochemistry. So starting with the topic, the word biochemistry means chemistry of living beings or chemical basis of life. So it is a study of thousands of or hundred of biochemical reaction and biochemical processes that are occurring in the cell of the living organism. So it is a kind of interdisciplinary sciences. So it deals with number of subject further. So likewise it contain medical biochemistry that deal with the chemical basis of the human body, and second is clinical biochemistry that deal with the clinical diseases or pathological conditions of the human body. So in this term we can give a biochemistry a wider field. So it contain number of small fields like medical biochemistry or clinical biochemistry is a vast term, but moreover other biochemistry field are also involved in this, like bacterial biochemistry that deals with microbes, and plant biochemistry that deal with plant, animal biochemistry that deal with the animals, and industrial biochemistry that deals with the industrial products involved with the microorganisms. So all these are the small terms that are involved in the biochemistry. Basically it contains mainly it has two broader areas like medical biochemistry and clinical biochemistry, but these are also a part of biochemistry. So main and objective of aim and objective of biochemistry. So the main and aim and objective of studying biochemistry to know about the structural and functional properties of biomolecules. So we have number of biomolecules like proteins, carbohydrates, these all are the biomolecules. So further these carbohydrates are made up of glucose molecule, and these proteins are made up of amino acids. So we will be discussing all these. So second one is understand completely all the organized biochemical processes that are occurring in the living cells at the molecular or subcellular levels. So third main objective are identification of disease mechanism. So fourth one is study of inborn errors of metabolism. So there are number of metabolic processes that are occurring in our body. So why they are not occurring properly, like for example glycolysis is there. So why, and there can be a deficiency of some enzymes due to which the inborn errors of metabolism occur. So last one is study of oncogenes in the cancer cells. So mainly in the cancer the oncogenes are there. So if they are regulating more or cells are making more, so it can create or it can result in the cancer. So starting with the introduction to the biomolecules. So the living systems that are made up of various complex biomolecules like carbohydrates, protein, nucleic acid and lipid, etc. So the protein and carbohydrates are the essential component of our food. So we all know that in our daily diet we are taking protein and carbohydrate in a very large amount. So protein, all the part of the body, for example hairs, nails, all these are made up of protein. So carbohydrate is the major component that is required for our body. So most commonly carbohydrates are divided into three parts: monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharide. So we can take a simplest form of carbohydrate, that is glucose. So it is the most common part of our body. So glucose is the only thing due to which the ATP is generated and the body is running. So these two, protein and carbohydrates, are the essential constituents of our food. So these biomolecules interact with each other and constitute the molecular logic of the living processes. So these, like carbohydrates are there, so glycolysis, Krebs cycle and all that things are running on this basis. On this basis the only ATP is manufactured, or the body is able to run properly on the basis of this carbohydrates. So in addition, some simple molecule like vitamins and minerals, salt also play an important role in function of organism. So other than protein and carbohydrate, there are number of vitamins and minerals that are required for the normal functioning of the body. So firstly starting with the carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are primarily produced by the plants, so they and form a very large group of naturally occurring organic compounds. So these the rich source of carbohydrates, or we can produce this carbohydrates only from the plants, so they are occurring naturally. So for example, some common examples are there, like carbohydrates are cane sugar, glucose and starch. So from cane sugar we can get sucrose, and glucose is a most common type of the carbohydrate. So starch, basically potato is rich of starch, so these all comes under carbohydrates. So most of them had general formula, that is CxH2OY. So X can be 1 2 3 4, Y can be 1 2 3 4. So these carbohydrates have a general formula, that is CxH2OY. So and are generally considered as hydrates of carbon, from where the name carbohydrates are derived. So these carbohydrates means that they are derived from the hydrates of the carbon, so as the name indicate. So for example, the molecular formula of glucose. So glucose is the most common part, as already discussed. So it has a molecular formula, that is C6H12O6. So it basically fit in the general formula, that is C6H2O6. So as we have discussed the general formula of this carbohydrate, so glucose is fit in that. So but all the components which fit into the formula may not be classified as carbohydrates. So other components can also be there, but they are not considered as carbohydrates. So chemically the carbohydrates may be defined as optically active polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketone, or the compounds which produce such unit on hydrolysis. So carbohydrates are optically active, so they are two type of optically active compounds, that are aldehydes or ketones. So these are occur on the basis of hydrolysis. So some of the carbohydrates which are sweet in taste and are also known as sugars. So the most common sugar used in our house is named as sucrose, which is present in this is a sugar that is present in the milk, and so whereas the sugar that is present in the milk is known as lactose. So these carbohydrates are also known as saccharides. So sucrose is getting from the sugarcane, and this lactose is present in the milk. So next is classification of carbohydrates. So classification basically done on the basis of the behavior on hydrolysis. So basically it is broadly divided into three groups. So number one is monosaccharide, second one is disaccharide or oligosaccharides, and third one is polysaccharide. So starting with the first, that is monosaccharide. So this carbohydrate that can't be hydrolyzed further to give a simplest unit of polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone is known as monosaccharide. So monosaccharide is the smallest unit of carbohydrates. So this can't be utilized or hydrolyzed further. So about 20 monosaccharides are known to be occur in nature. So some common example are glucose, fructose and ribose. So these are the simplest form of monosaccharides. So glucose, fructose and ribose. So other 20 are also there. So most commonly from the monosaccharide is the glucose. So second classification is oligosaccharides. So carbohydrates that yield 2 to 10 monosaccharide unit on hydrolysis are known as oligosaccharides. So a combination of more than 2 carbohydrates, that 2 to 10 monosaccharide together make up the oligosaccharides. So that occur only on the hydrolysis basis. So they are further classified as disaccharide, tetrasaccharide or trisaccharides, that are depending upon the number of monosaccharide that provide on hydrolysis. So among all these, most common are disaccharides. So the 2 monosaccharide unit obtained on hydrolysis of a disaccharide may be same or different. So for example, 1 molecule of sucrose on hydrolysis give 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of fructose, where maltose give 2 molecule of glucose. So we have discussed like oligosaccharide are basically of different type that are depending upon the number of monosaccharide present in it. So most common are disaccharide. So that disaccharide can be a same or it can be a different. So for example, sucrose. So sucrose is a molecule that contain one monosaccharide, that is glucose, and second monosaccharide, that is fructose, whereas in case of maltose, two molecule, that is monosaccharide, that both are glucose. So third classification is polysaccharide. So this carbohydrates which yield a large number of monosaccharide unit on hydrolysis are known as polysaccharide. So more than 10 the number of monosaccharide joined together make up the polysaccharide. So most common example are starch, cellulose, glycogen and gum, etc. So polysaccharide are not sweet in taste, hence they are also known as non-sugars. So we will be discussing this in some details. So monosaccharide. So monosaccharides are further classified on the basis of number of carbon atom and the functional group present in them. So monosaccharide that basically differentiated on the basis of carbon atoms and the functional group present in them. So if the monosaccharide contain an aldehyde group, it is known as aldose, whereas if it is containing the keto group, it is known as the ketose. So number of carbon atom constituting the monosaccharide is also introduced in the name as follows. Like this is the example. So in first column there is carbon atom, in second its journal term, and if the aldehyde group attached to it, and fourth column indicate if the ketone group is attached to it. So if the 3 carbon is present, it is known as triose, and if the aldehyde group is attached to it, then it is known as aldotriose, and if the ketone group is there, then it is known as ketotriose. In the same way, if the carbon atom is 4, then the general term is tetraose, and aldehyde aldotetraose or ketotetraose. So in case of if 5 carbon atom, it is pentose and aldopentose, ketopentose. So and 6 carbon atom, it is known as hexose, aldohexose or ketohexose. In the same way, if the carbon atom 7 is present, so it is general term is haptose, and aldehyde, if the aldehyde group is attached, then aldohaptose, and if the ketone group is attached, then the ketohaptose. So these are the differentiated on the number of bases of carbon atom as well as the group attached to it. So disaccharides. So disaccharides on hydrolysis with the dilute acid or enzyme, it yield to a molecule of either the same or different monosaccharide. So as we have already discussed, these disaccharide can be a same monosaccharide or it can be a different monosaccharides. So two monosaccharides joined together by an oxide linkage formed by the loss of a water molecule. So it is formed by the two molecules joined together if there is a loss of water molecule. So such linkage between the two monosaccharide unit through the oxygen atom is called as glycosidic linkage. So the linkage between the two disaccharide or two monosaccharide making up the disaccharide is known as glycosidic linkage, or we can also known as glycosidic bond. So this in disaccharide, if the reducing group of monosaccharide, that is aldate or ketonic group, are bonded, so they are non-reducing sugar. Example is sucrose. So on the other hand, if the sugar in which these functional group are free and are known as reducing sugars, and for example maltose and lactose. So in disaccharide there is another like non-reducing and reducing. So if this reducing group, that is aldehyde and ketone attached to it, so it is known as non-reducing. So if it is free of functional group, it is known as reducing sugar. So example of non-reducing is sucrose, whereas reducing sugar is maltose and lactose. So talking about the structure of the sucrose, so one of the common disaccharide is sucrose, which on hydrolysis give a mixture of D plus glucose or D minus fructose. So these are the two monosaccharide that together make up one disaccharide, that is sucrose. So glucose and fructose is there to make up this sucrose. So two monosaccharides are held together by the glycosidic linkage between the carbon atom 1 of alpha D glucose and second carbon atom of beta D fructose. So we can see in a structure like on the one side there is alpha D glucose and on the other side there is beta D glucose. So if we talk about the carbon atom, so in case of fructose there is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbon atom, and in case of glucose it is a 6 carbon atoms. So the first carbon of glucose and the second carbon of fructose make up a sucrose. So there is a glycosidic bond between them in which the oxygen get released. So lastly, talking about the polysaccharides. So polysaccharide contain a large number of monosaccharide unit that are joined together by the glycosidic bond. Same, their monosaccharide joined together, large number of monosaccharide joined together to make up one polysaccharide. So these are the most commonly encountered carbohydrates in nature. So they mainly act as a food storage or structural material. So basically polysaccharide have their this function in the food storage as well as in the structural material. For example, we have starch, cellulose and glycogen. So this starch is a storage food for the plants. So in case of cellulose, it is a structure, it is a it contain a structural material for the plants. So all the cell walls of the plant are made up of cellulose. So it is giving a structural importance to the cells. So whereas glycogen, it is a storage form of food in the humans. So talking about the starch, so starch is the main storage polysaccharide of the plant, as we have discussed. So it is the most important dietary source for the human being. So high content of this starch is found in cereal, root, tubers and some vegetables. So it is basically made up of two components, that is amylose and amylopectin. So this amylose, it is a water soluble compound that is made up of 15 to 20% of starch. So whereas amylopectin, it is basically insoluble in water and it constitutes about 80 to 85% of the starch. So basically what is the difference between the two? So this amylose is an unbranched chain, so whereas amylopectin, it is a branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose unit. So next example of polysaccharide are cellulose. So basically cellulose occurs exclusively in the plants and it is also abundant organic substance in the plant kingdom. So it is basically, as we have discussed, it makes the cell wall of the plant. So cellulose is a straight chain of polysaccharide that are made up of only of beta D glucose unit. So they all are joined together by the glycosidic linkage that occurs between the carbon atom 1 of glucose and next carbon 4 atom of the other glucose unit. So last example of this polysaccharide is glycogen. So these carbohydrates are stored in animal body as a glycogen. So it is also known as the animal starch because its structure is similar to the amylopectin and it is rather more highly branched. So it is present basically in the liver, muscle and brain. So when the body need glucose, enzyme break the glycogen down to the glucose, and this glucose is also present in yeast and fungi. So this glycogen is basically present in the human body or in the animal body. So in liver, muscle and brain it is present. So this glycogen get converted into glucose by some enzymes. So it is also present in yeast and fungi. So importance of carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are essential for life in both plants and animals. They form a major portion of our food. So this carbohydrates is very essential in both plants and animals, like polysaccharides are there or disaccharides are there or monosaccharides are there. So these all forms or these classification of carbohydrates, different classification of carbohydrates playing an important role or essential role in the life of both plants and animals. So they are forming a major portion of our food. So carbohydrates are used as the storage molecule as starch in plant and glycogen in animal. So we have discussed in the polysaccharide, basically they are a storage form or giving the structural component to the plants. So we have discussed like starch is present in the plant and glycogen is present in the animal. So cell wall of bacteria and plant is made up of cellulose. So in this point, So polysaccharide is also playing a role of structural component. So cellulose is there, which is made, so all the cell wall of plants and animal is made up of cellulose. So carbohydrates are found in biosystem in combination with many protein and lipids. So these biomolecules or biosystem that are present in the carbohydrate, it is in the combination of many proteins and lipids. So this is one component of a biomolecule. So protein and lipids are also there. So basically protein are made up of amino acids, and further thank you so much.